Hey YouTube, I'm back with a video to talk about my process in receiving my VSG, which if you don't know, it's the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, which is a weight loss surgery. I'm gonna turn on my light real quick, see if it makes a smidgen difference. Might make a little more. Maybe I'm glowing and I have a big shadow. Well, so here is the process. I recapped some of it in an earlier video. If you didn't see it, you can go back and check it out. If not, I'm going to tell you a lot of the stuff that you need to do. So the first thing that you need to do is you go to an info session. Now, this is what I had to do for the University of Pennsylvania and for my insurance to improve the surgery. You go for an info session. After an info session, you make an appointment. You have to have 3 appointments with a nurse, with a nutritionist. Your very first appointment is your longest appointment. It's an hour long. You're going to see a nurse, the nutritionist, the surgeon who's actually going to do your surgery, and all these other, I don't even remember everybody who I saw because I didn't see any of those people again. The only people that I saw on a regular basis for the next 2 meetings was a nurse and a nutritionist. I'm within the BMI range. So part of the shit people say to people who are thinking about weight loss surgery, oh, you're not even that big. Oh, you don't need the surgery. So that's what I'm hearing over and over from people. But you don't know everyone's situation and everyone's trials and tribulations with weight loss. My BMI is over 40. A BMI over 40 is considered morbidly obese, which means that your weight can be a cause of your death. It's morbid, obese, deadly overweight. So I've had all 3 of my meetings with the nurse and the nutritionist. One of the biggest ways, or one of the ways to be approved by your insurance, I did it all on one day. Last week, I had a new EKG done. I had blood work done. I had, I really don't remember what the name of the machine is, but it looks at your GI tract. And so it looks at your esophagus and how fluids or food goes down into your, it's my cat, hi, goes in through your system. So they looked at my GI tract. I also had my chest x-rayed. I also had an ultrasound of my stomach. So I did all of those things in one day. The results are already back to me. Most of the results came back normal. What they did come back with is that I do have a vitamin D deficiency, which I do know many African Americans have a vitamin D deficiency, which I do know many diabetic people have a vitamin D deficiency. So I have a vitamin D deficiency. My glucose levels were normal, but I had a slightly higher hemoglobin A1C. The hemoglobin A1C is what says if you're diabetic or not. Mine was not within the range to be diabetic. I am in the pre-diabetic stage. So I'm glad that I decided to have this surgery, because at first I'm like, well, I have the BMI, but I don't have any health issues. And probably 2 years ago, maybe my hemoglobin A1C, because no doctor has said I was in pre-diabetes before, maybe then I wouldn't have had an issue. But yes, so I'm like, I'm going to nip this in the bud, because I refuse to be diabetic and live that kind of a life. So not only did I have all of those tests done, I had to meet with the nurse and the nutritionist, and I had to meet with a psychiatrist, the 2 psychiatrists, all in the same day. So that was my final meeting. You have 3 meetings with the nurse, nutritionist, and the team. But this meeting had my visit with the psychiatrist and all of my tests to be done. To complete the whole process with the University of Penn, you also have to go to a group meeting, or a meeting, a support group of people who have had and who are having bariatric surgery. So one thing I'm going to say, I posted on my Facebook. A lot of people don't want to tell people they're having bariatric surgery. I'm kind of like, whatever. I posted it on my Facebook, and mad amount of people that I know I did not know, but they had bariatric surgery. They're messaging me like, well, welcome to the loser's bench. Let me know when your surgery, how everything goes. I had mine last year, had mine a couple months ago. So it's kind of exciting to realize that I'm with a group of people who have decided to take their health and their life into their hands as best that they could. One of the elders, she's 72 years old. She's actually having it too, so that she can have, surgery on her knees. And, I always said I don't want to be at that point when I'm older that my knees are going to stop me from being able to live the life that I want to live. And even now at 44, my knees sometimes hurt. And I do recognize how when I had lost weight before, knee pain went away. I was like, what? I could run, jump, and play. Now when I do squats, my knees are like, girl, please stop it. So I had all of those tests done. Because of all of those tests, I was able to see that, my health issues, it lists as morbidity or, morbid obesity as one of my health issues, pre-diabetic, and low vitamin D. That does not mean I am approved for the surgery yet. I had to get all of that done for them to send my information off to my insurance company. I am assuming because of my BMI, I'm assuming because of my pre-diabetes, that my insurance most likely will say yes. There was one person in a meeting who had said she had been denied, her insurance denied her before, but now they say doctors kind of fight for you to be able to have the surgery. Most people who I've met and spoken to have all had positive experiences with the surgery. I know one person whose husband's experience was very negative. That was medical negligence. And so when you're doing this surgery, like anything else, you have to do your research. And sometimes you have to pick the best hospitals out there. There are several hospitals in Philadelphia that offer the surgery. Temple University offers it. I know someone whose wife got it at Temple. Jefferson University offers it now. So does University of Penn. And all of their affiliate hospitals like Presbyterian, and they have hospitals in Valley Forge and Cherry Hill. So I'm going with the hospital of the University of Penn. They have great doctors. The doctor who's doing my surgery is in charge of the program for the University of Penn. So I'm very confident that they will do a good job and there won't be medical negligence. It is a diverse hospital with diverse staff who sees diverse clients. So my friend whose husband had major complications, their hospital was a different caliber, and they dealt with they just were very different. For most part, I'm very confident in the medical team that I have. Other things that I've seen. So what I've heard from a lot of people on YouTube is that if you have a hernia, the doctor will fix it up. Most people don't know that they have a hernia already, blase, blase. I don't know what testing other hospitals require you to have. I know at Penn, I did everything. So I know already, that's another thing I forgot to mention. And they didn't put it on my health chart. But when I looked at all of my x-rays and read all of the stuff on my x-rays and read all the blood work stuff, I saw that my hemoglobin A1C was high. Just a little bit, like 5, I forget the range, but the range stops at 5.6 and I was 5.8, which meant even if you're in the 5 point anywhere, you're getting close to that high point, or even in the 5s. You probably want to be in the 3s. But I have a little hernia, which is like a little piece of my stomach is coming up through my diaphragm, the hole in the diaphragm. So I had to look that up, like, oh, what in the world? So it's a little diminutive hernia thingy-mabobber thing. So I already know that when they go in there to remove my stomach, they're probably going to have to fix that hernia, or when they remove my stomach, that might be gone because you're going to be taking most of my stomach away. So it won't be able to bulge up because it's not going to be like, hey, I'm growing, I'm big. Whoa, whoa. So I really don't know. So now I'm in the waiting process. So going through this entire process, I've had to pay co-pays of $30 each time I went to the doctor. I've also had to pay just for the psychiatrist evaluation. I had to pay $270 something, which was a lot. They didn't warn me that I had to pay that $270 something. So now I'm just in a waiting process to see if my insurance says yes or no. Once the insurance says yes or no, that's when you get your date for surgery. My son graduates 8th grade on June 7th. I'm done teaching on June 5th. So hopefully by mid-June, I'll be able to have my surgery. So if you're thinking about it, that's part of the process. That's part of the know-how. There are many Facebook groups that are for bariatric surgery. And, you take them with a grain of salt. Some people got great advice. Some people don't. But there's a lot of support groups out there for people who are having bariatric surgery. Some people choose to stay private and quiet about it. Some people talk about it. There's a lot of people out there who are struggling with weight and weight loss and getting control of their health. With this bariatric surgery, which they were able to explain to me, because at first I was like, everyone who's had the surgery just says their diabetes is gone. Because I always connected diabetes to the hormone insulin. But it's all about how your stomach processes the hormones and foods and creates hormones and all this. So pretty much once they remove your stomach, they remove your diabetes. Same thing with, I guess, when you have the RNY, the gastric bypass. When they bypass your stomach, you're bypassing all of these problems. So it is not easy. People will be like, oh, that's the easy way out. I wish there was an easy way out. Because I don't feel like doing so much stuff, but I have to. But I don't know. Hopefully that's helpful. Leave some questions. If I get some actual views, leave some questions to ask about my process, my journey. There's a lot of people out here getting it. And I'll talk to you later. Peace.